Hello everyone, it's me Whisper Walk. I have a special cooking for all of you. Emilie is coming, Mualani is coming, we are getting a brand new DPS Mualani, supposedly power creeping new Villette. It is early, so such claims, as always, are to be taken with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, I believe the team cooking just demonstrated is a very strong one. Let me introduce the team members. Mualani is a hydro catalyst, very high damage scaling, possibly the highest so far in Genshin. She has a very slow rate of fire, only attacking a few times in a rotation. Slow and steady is good though, as this allows her to vaporize every one of her hits for big damage, provided our team is set up for it. This is not as simple as it looks, because shredding VV requires the enemy to be hydro, whereas vaporize requires the enemy to be pyro. Therefore after Sucrose swirl we need to switch the enemy's aura from hydro to pyro, but this very act of switching takes time. VV only lasts for 10 seconds, Sucrose's M buff for 8 seconds. If we fuck around too much, VV runs out before Mualani's shark gets to bite. Mualani needs 8 seconds to do her shark surfing thing, so 10 minus 8 is 2 seconds. 2 seconds is all we can spare for other actions. This means we need to plan our setup, we need to delay Sucrose's swirl so the 10 seconds timer starts late, we need to do as little as possible after that, to avoid wasting VV's 10 seconds, and we need to pick teammates that use very little field time in the rotation. Therefore no silly stuff like batterying solo pyro Xiangling, trust me, even if those teams go above 100k DPS on an Excel sheet, they will be asked to play in real life. We are using Dehya because all she needs is a 1-second skill, she can equip Sacrificial Greatsword to reduce the cooldown on it, and she can wear Deepwood Memories to shred Dendro for Emilie. We are using Emilie because her damage is very high, because her skill takes only 1 second, and because burning is a great source of pyro for Mualani's shark vapes. Now I want to circle back to 10 seconds, why it's so important to accomplish whatever we can in 10. It is very hard to swirl hydro a second time. Mualani's very slow hydro application is great for vaporizing, but she can't easily erase burning on the enemy. There is too much Dendro from Emilie and too much pyro from Dehya, so on the second rotation, VV no longer works and is basically just an illusion. You cannot reliably VV shred a second time. Thankfully, Mualani's level 3 shark bites are very strong, ranging from 600,000 damage to 800,000 damage at Constellation 0 with her signature weapon. This is enough to cripple or kill most enemy bosses in the game, which traditionally only have between 1.6 to 2.2 million HP. Emilie helps reduce this damage threshold with her very high off-field damage, expected to be north of 500,000. So if we deal a lot of front-loaded damage in our 10 seconds VV, Mualani can defeat the boss before her damage falls off, or at least be close enough for a few sharky finishers. I'll also like to talk about Sucrose versus Kazuha. Kazuha is a very popular character but I don't believe he is the best fit for this sort of team. Point 1. Both units buff Mualani. Sucrose with elemental mastery, and Kazuha with damage. But neither character is going to shred hydro a second time. Kazuha's damage buffs completely stop after 10 seconds, since it relies on swirling hydro, which will no longer happen once burning starts. Sucrose, on the other hand, will still grant party members around 200 elemental mastery, even if she swirls pyro instead of hydro. This means Sucrose will decline less over time compared to Kazuha. Point number 2, Sucrose's animations are significantly shorter than Kazuha, resulting in faster clear times overall and delivering the full promise of a nuke team. When speedrunning, you want animations to be short and snappy, not long and windy. Since Sucrose already buffs more compared to Kazuha, shorter field time goes even harder. Point number 3, Sucrose has some great weapon options for this team. Prototype Amber can be used for team-wide healing, which is nice because Dehya only mitigates half the enemy's damage, not remove it completely. Thrilling Tales can be used to buff Emilie's attack. Lastly, 1,000 Floating Dreams gives Sucrose a lot of EM, increasing her buffs, and also 40 more EM to the party. Lastly, let's touch on one last thing about Dehya. Is this finally a meta team where the best in slot unit is Dehya? Possibly, but Pyro Archon is also coming. We don't know what the Pyro Archon does yet, but Archons are usually the best character for their element. So we can only answer this question another day. Dehya provides immunity to interruption for the team. This doesn't last very long, just 9 seconds, but it covers most of the VV shred uptime, where Mualani delivers her highest damage hits. This interruption immunity does not reset via sacrificial greatsword either, which is a bummer, but fortunately, Mualani is somewhat resistant to interruption during her shark surfing mode. That's all for today. I hope to eventually be able to speedrun using the Mualani, Emilie, Sucrose and Dehya team in the Spiral Abyss. Stay tuned for future content.